We're standing in front of the full-length portrait of Edward Alleyn. It's a posthumous portrait painted shortly after his death. There are several portraits of Alleyn before this time, mainly engravings of him acting, for instance, in Faustus of the Jew of Malta. This is a completely different image of Alleyn. He's looking down at us in an academic way. Marlowe went to university, and so did a lot of his contemporaries. And there is something in Alleyn which makes me say that he feels it is a great pity that he didn't go to university. And so one of the things he did was set up his own college and dress himself up in the academic robes you see in the portrait in front of you, and give himself the status of an educated man, which he certainly has in this portrait. It's obviously meant to be from this viewpoint, looking down at the people that he has been so benevolent towards. It's a very dark portrait. It's difficult to make out some of the features, but very clear is his right hand, which is held across his chest to his heart, which is a traditional pose for Jacobean portrait. The right finger of his right hand is the ring with a seal, and that ring exists today. When you think about the part from Hamlet, which is meant to be about him, when Hamlet talks against Alleyn's acting style, there are things about him sawing the air and so forth, which indicates that he had a very vibrant physicality and was able to hold an audience. And his voice must have been something, because not only was he performing outdoors in the Rose, which was a fairly small space, but when James I came into London, he gave outdoor performances to the masses at triumphal arches, which were designed for James's entrance into London. And he must have had an extraordinarily powerful voice to be able to communicate with that sort of crowd. The crest has a hand coming out of the top of it with a bleeding heart in it, which was a symbol of charity. So he's built the whole idea of charity into the crest. And of course the charity was set up originally for poor scholars and pensioners down in the village. Some people think that Alleyn had an eye to setting the college up with an eye to supplying the theatre industry. I don't think that was one of his aims. But he is an actor, he's a manager, he's worked with children. He had his own child apprentice, who he affectionately referred to as Pig. And he was used to working with boys in the theatre. And if he sets up a school where the 12 boys are coming in, naturally he'll have half an eye to their future. And if one or two of them showed an aptitude for it, surely he would have pointed them in the right direction.